Hey folks, today I want to share a story about Iran. If you know, I've studied in Iran. I've lived in Iran for over 5 years. It was back in 2002. I have studied there. I've graduated from Iranian University. I have worked in Iran. And in 2002, I arrived in Kazvin, the city called Kazvin. It's 2 hours far from Tehran, and they have these courses, Persian language courses for overseas students. I've graduated from these courses, and I received this introduction letter to university in Tehran, University of Shahid Bishti. Very nice, by the way, very nice university. And what was my first desire when I arrived in Tehran is to find a job, because it's the capital and I wanted to find a job. Yes, my parents used to send me $100 each month just so I could afford afford the food, because I had a dormitory which was for free and the education was for free. But as a young guy, I wanted, and to tell you that Tehran is the city very fashionable. Young people there love to wear very nice clothes. So, and I wanted to be aligned with that society. And of course, I wanted to show off. I'm young, I'm a student, and I am hot. I'm like hot blood. So what happened is I used to go every day in front of the university. They had this booth over there selling the newspapers. And the newspaper called Hamshahri. And they had this section, the block, for like a job board block. And I used to search for a job related to translator, because I've been equipped with Russian, Chinese, and Persian at that time. So, and I was lucky to find that job one day. I called this company, they called me to come to their office. The next day I went to their office, and you know, this was very interesting part. When I entered the office of the owner, his room, he greeted me, and at that exact moment somebody called him. For over a minute he talked to somebody, he was very happy about that, and he said like, what's your name once again? I said, Azar. How to say in Russian, how are you? I said, как дела? Okay, you are hired. And the other thing that he's mentioned, that you have this, how you call this, the light step, because he's been waiting for this call for over 3 weeks. And now when I came to the house office, somebody called him and gave him this positive news. So, and I have been hired like instantly. It was like a shock at the same time, and I was happy at the same time. I cannot explain that feelings right now, but after a week, this was a job in the exhibition, heavy industry exhibition, and there were companies from Russia and Ukraine coming to as a participants, and I had to be a translator. The day this exhibition began, so we completed the whole day of work, and in the evening we had to go with delegates for a dinner. And there was a guy who was from Russia and was the owner of the factory. He asked me, like, it was cold outside, we were like walking. He said like, do you have a jacket, because it's cold outside? I had only a hoodie. I said, no, I don't have it. He just grabbed his money out of his pocket and he gave me $500. You know, he passed me $500 and he said like, go and buy a jacket for yourself. I was like shocked, you know, and very happy for that. So the next day, there was a Ukrainian company who asked me, because they had these partners in another city in Iran called Kerman, and we had to fly there, whether I have time and how much I can charge them as a translator to go there for 1 day. I said, $300. They said, deal. So we went there, we came back, and I've got this additional $300. And the company, the Iranian company, which hired me, they paid me another $100 for my work. And in total, I had $900. And I really was happy, because for me as a student to have that, you know, it's a huge amount of money at that time. I could afford myself to buy a jacket, I could afford myself to buy a mobile phone, and had the pocket money for expenses. What I wanna, the moral of the story is, don't give up, act, and if you do something, so you have a chance. If you don't do anything, you have no chance. You know, it's like a movie, how the name of the movie, the Forrest Gump. When he, in the beginning of the movie, he sits in the bench in the bus station, and there was a lady next to him, and he says like, my mom used to tell me when I was a child that life is, he's holding this box of chocolate, that life is like a box of chocolate. You never know which one you're gonna pick. So I hope this story is gonna helpful for somebody, and thanks for watching.